Hi and good evening. The Premier has announced tough new restrictions to coincide with the borders reopening on Thursday. Mark McGowan says we are now just weeks away from peak COVID cases and about to hit a rapid growth phase.
Trotting out tougher restrictions.
If we want a set of measures to be effective, they need to come in sooner rather than later.
Mark McGowan announcing level 2 restrictions from 12:01 a.m. Thursday for at least the next 4 weeks.
March will be the most difficult month Western Australia experiences in this whole pandemic. And we would be irresponsible if we didn't have the most appropriate measures in place.
It means masks become mandatory for children in years 3 to 6. Home gatherings are limited to 10 people. The exception is outdoor weddings and funerals capped at 150. Hospitality and entertainment venues, along with fitness centres, also limited to 150 patrons. That number jumps to 500 for outdoor public events. There's a 50% capacity limit for cinemas, theatres and stadiums. Only 2 visitors allowed in aged and disability care, none for hospitals, with the exception of spouses, parents and carers, while only the casino has been hit with the 4 square metre rule.
While we have avoided some of the tougher measures, this will still be an impact on many operators and on people's lives. And for that, I'm sorry.
The Premier preempting mass spread despite Omicron numbers relatively stable. There were 1,136 local cases reported, taking the number of active cases to 5,500. But hospitalisations have again dropped to 11 people. None are in intensive care.
The impact is now when we're in this rapid growth phase.
Case numbers will dramatically rise. Hospitalisations will rise. Some people will get very sick and, tragically, some people may die.
The level 2 restrictions ironically coincide with the border reopening, meaning interstate travellers are flying into some of the toughest restrictions in the nation.
I know some people seem to think there'll be some sort of tourism nirvana come about, but it's not going to happen.
Perth Airport is geared up, the newly refurbished international terminal ready for an influx of travellers. Up to 15,000 people expected to jet into WA on Thursday alone, but flight numbers and prices are making it tough.
In all honesty, it's going to take a number of years before we see our passenger numbers get back to what they were pre-COVID.
In an ever-evolving situation. Natalie Forrest for 10 News First.
Meanwhile, some hospitality and entertainment venues say the new restrictions will bite so hard they'll close their doors. They're facing big losses, while many casual staff are set to lose their jobs.
WA's biggest pub can hold up to 4,000 people, but from Thursday the Camfield will seem almost empty with a cap of 150.
150 people in venues like this just doesn't work. It means that all our casual staff go.
That works out to be one person every 22 square metres and losses in the thousands of dollars each day.
I'm too scared to even go and have a look at that at the moment, what the actual losses are, but it's substantial. Whether it is easier and cheaper for us to just shut the doors rather than try and stay open and have all the other associated costs.
The 150 cap will be in place at all hospitality and entertainment venues.
It really means that we won't be able to open over the next 4 weeks. It's pretty devastating for us. We didn't expect it to be as harsh as it was.
Theatres, cinemas and Optus Stadium will be capped at 50%, but it's hoped restrictions should only last 4 to 6 weeks.
We can't afford for this to go on for months at end. Otherwise, we're going to see substantial job losses permanently.
The government says reduced numbers at high-risk venues are essential to slow the surge in COVID cases.
While we have avoided some of the tougher measures, this will still be an impact on many operators and on people's lives. And for that, I'm sorry.
But the Premier says businesses will be compensated.
Look, we feel for them and we're going to do more. We announced a package last week. We're going to announce another package this week to support businesses out there across the community.
Lee Steele for 10 News First.